My friends, if you are receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI right now, I need you to stop what you're doing for just a moment, because what the SSA has just confirmed for March 2026 could directly affect the dollar amount that lands in your bank account this month. And I don't want you to miss a single penny of what you are rightfully owed. I know a lot of you are out there right now doing the math. You're sitting at your kitchen table looking at your bills, wondering if your check is going to stretch far enough to cover groceries, your prescriptions, maybe the electric bill that went up again. You're not alone in that. Millions of seniors across this country are asking the same questions every single month. And what frustrates me is that the answers are out there, but nobody is explaining them in plain, simple English. Until now. That's exactly why we're here today. Because I want to be that trusted friend who sits down with you and says, here's what changed, here's what it means for your check, and here's what you need to do. So let's get into it together, because this one is important. So let's start right at the top. The Social Security Administration has officially confirmed several key adjustments that are taking effect in March 2026, and taken together, these changes represent one of the more significant shifts we've seen in the benefit landscape in quite some time. Now, some of these adjustments work in your favor, and I want to make sure you understand exactly which ones apply to your situation. First, let's talk about the COLA, the cost of living adjustment that was announced back in October 2025 and has been rolling out since January. The 2026 COLA came in at 2.5%, which may sound modest compared to the larger adjustments we saw in 2022 and 2023 during the height of inflation. But here's what that actually means in real dollars for real people. If you were receiving the average Social Security retirement benefit of around $1,127 per month before the adjustment, that 2.5% COLA bumped your monthly checkup by approximately $48. That brings your new monthly amount to roughly $1,275. Now, I know some of you are thinking, $48 isn't going to change my life, and I hear you. But over the course of a full year, that is nearly $580 in additional income. And for a lot of seniors living on a fixed income, that is a full month's worth of medication copays or several weeks of groceries. Every dollar matters, and I want you to know every dollar you're entitled to. For those of you receiving the maximum Social Security retirement benefit, and this applies to folks who worked high-earning careers for 35 years or more, the maximum monthly benefit for someone retiring at full retirement age in 2026 has climbed to approximately $4,018 per month. If you delayed your benefits all the way to age 70, that number can reach as high as $5,008 per month. These are the kinds of numbers that remind us why the decisions we make about when to claim really do matter enormously over a lifetime. Now, let's talk about our friends who are receiving SSI, Supplemental Security Income, because your update is just as important, and I want to make sure you're not skipped over. The 2026 federal SSI payment rate after the COLA adjustment now sits at $967 per month for an individual and $1,450 per month for eligible couples. These are the federal base amounts, and depending on the state you live in, you may actually receive a bit more on top of that because many states add their own supplemental payment to the federal amount. States like California, New York, and Massachusetts, for example, have historically provided meaningful state supplements that can add anywhere from $50 to several $100s more each month. So if you live in one of those states and you're not sure what your full benefit should be, I want to encourage you to call your local Social Security office or log into your My Social Security account online to review your complete benefit statement. For those of you on SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, the 2.5% COLA increase applies to you as well. The average SSDI benefit before the adjustment was sitting around $1,580 per month. After the increase, the average SSDI recipient is now seeing approximately $1,720 per month. Again, in the context of a full year, that additional $480 is real money. And for someone managing a disability, those dollars can make a meaningful difference in the quality of daily life. One important thing I want to mention for our SSDI recipients And please pay close attention here. The substantial gainful activity threshold has also been updated for 2026. The SGA limit for non-blind individuals is now $1,620 per month. This is the amount you can earn from work before Social Security considers you to no longer be disabled for benefit purposes. Knowing this number is critical if you're doing any part-time work while receiving SSDI. Going over that threshold, even by a small amount, can trigger a review of your benefits, so please keep a close eye on your earnings if this applies to you. Alright, let's talk about something I know a lot of you are wondering about. When exactly is your check coming in March? Because planning your monthly budget depends on knowing those dates. Here is how the March 2026 Social Security payment schedule breaks down. If you were born on the 1st through the 10th of any month, your payment is scheduled to arrive on Wednesday, March 11th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment arrives on Wednesday, March 18th. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st of the month, your payment is scheduled for Wednesday, March 25th. Now, for those of you who started receiving Social Security before May of 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI, your payment schedule works a little differently. You receive your payment on the 3rd of each month, which in March 2026 falls on Tuesday, March 3rd. And for SSI recipients, your regular payment is also on the 1st, but since March 1st falls on a Sunday in 2026, SSA will issue those payments on Friday, February 27th. So if you're an SSI recipient, don't be alarmed if you see your March payment arrive a couple of days early at the end of February. That's intentional, and your money is not being reduced. It's simply being processed before the weekend. Now, here is the part of today's update that I am genuinely excited to share with you, because this is where a lot of seniors are leaving money on the table without even realizing it. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let's talk about the Extra Help program, also known as the Low Income Subsidy. If you are on Medicare and your income and resources fall below certain thresholds, you may qualify for Extra Help, a federal program that can reduce your Medicare Part D prescription drug costs to nearly zero. In 2026, the income limit for Extra Help eligibility is approximately $22,590 per year for an individual. If you're close to that number and you haven't applied, please do. This benefit alone can save qualifying seniors over $5,000 per year in drug costs. There's also the Medicare Savings Program, which is administered at the state level but funded federally, and it can actually pay your Medicare Part B premium for you. Your Part B premium in 2026 is $185 per month. 12 months of that premium is $2,220 per year. If the Medicare Savings Program covers that for you, that is $2,220 that stays in your pocket instead of being deducted from your Social Security check. A lot of seniors qualify for this and simply don't know it exists. I also want to mention the Senior Citizens League's ongoing advocacy work around the Consumer Price Index for the Elderly, the CPIE. Right now, Social Security's COLA is calculated using the CPIW, which tracks the spending patterns of urban wage earners. The problem is that seniors spend a much higher percentage of their income on healthcare than working-age adults do, and healthcare inflation typically runs higher than general inflation. Advocates have been pushing for years to switch the COLA calculation to the CPIE, which would better reflect the actual cost increases seniors face. This is not law yet, but it is an active conversation in Washington, and it matters enormously for the long-term value of your benefits. For our veterans in the audience, I want to take a moment and speak directly to you, because your benefits have also seen important updates heading into 2026, and you deserve to know exactly what's available to you. VA disability compensation rates also received a 2.5% COLA increase effective December 1, 2025, with payments reflecting that increase starting in January 2026. A veteran with a 100% disability rating who is single with no dependents is now receiving approximately $3,832 per month in VA disability compensation. And here is something critically important that some veterans may not realize. VA disability compensation is not taxable income. That money is completely tax-free at the federal level, which makes it even more valuable in real purchasing power than the raw number suggests. Veterans who are both receiving VA disability compensation and Social Security should also be aware of how these two income streams interact. Unlike some other forms of government assistance, VA disability compensation does not reduce your Social Security benefit, and your Social Security benefit does not reduce your VA compensation. These are two completely separate benefit systems, and you are fully entitled to receive both simultaneously if you qualify for both. I want to make that crystal clear, because I hear from veterans occasionally who think they have to choose one or the other. You do not. Also, if you are a veteran who has not yet filed a disability claim, or if you have a rating that you believe should be higher, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a veteran service organization, groups like the DAV, the VFW, or the American Legion, who can help you file or appeal a claim at no cost to you. There is no deadline to file for VA disability compensation, and many veterans are receiving far less than they are entitled to simply because they haven't pursued a higher rating. Let's spend a few minutes talking about taxes, because this is an area where a little bit of knowledge can genuinely save you a significant amount of money. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be subject to federal income tax. Now, the income thresholds that determine this, known as the combined income thresholds, have not been adjusted for inflation since they were originally set back in the 1980s and 1990s. That means more and more seniors are getting pushed into taxable territory every year simply because their COLA increases are pushing their income slightly above those old frozen thresholds. If your combined income, which is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half of your Social Security benefits, exceeds $25,000 as a single filer or $32,000 as a married couple filing jointly, then a portion of your Social Security is taxable. If you're bumping up against those thresholds, one smart strategy is to work with a tax advisor or CPA who specializes in retirement income to explore options like Roth conversions, qualified charitable distributions from an IRA, or strategic timing of other withdrawals to manage your taxable income. Another strategy worth discussing is what happens when you decide to claim Social Security matters a great deal. For every year you delay claiming past your full retirement age, up until age 70, your benefit grows by 8%. That is a guaranteed, risk-free return that is very hard to beat anywhere else. If you are healthy and have other income sources to draw from in your early 60s, waiting to claim can make a very significant difference in your lifetime benefit totals. My friends, we covered a lot of ground today, and I hope you're walking away from this feeling a little more informed and a little more empowered about your financial situation. Because that is exactly what this channel is here for. You have worked hard your entire life, and you deserve every single dollar you've earned through these programs. If there is someone in your life, a parent, a neighbor, a friend from church or your community, who is on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or receiving VA benefits, please share this video with them. You might just help them find money they didn't know they were missing. And that kind of kindness, passing along information that helps someone else, that matters more than you know. If you found this update helpful today, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an update. New videos come out every week, and every single one is made with you in mind. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. And remember, you are not alone in this journey.